welcome to finally a brand new video. Today I want to talk about why I haven't made any beta ladder series in such a long time. And before I get into that, I want to say I'm not too lazy. I love making videos. And the thing is, I have recorded 6 videos in the past which I just didn't upload because I wasn't happy with the result. So first of all, let me tell you guys, I don't enjoy ladder too much. And it has multiple reasons. It has kind of like a backstory why I don't like ladder, and it is not because I like suck, I don't get like high legend or anything like that. It's every season I finish top 100 or top 200 at least, and why I'm not finishing higher is mainly because of the lack of motivation and because of time, because I spent a huge portion of my days with playing open cups, and sometimes it takes like 20 days before I win one open cup. Luckily I've managed to win like an open cup in the past 3 months or so, and I'm getting really much better at having very good lineups for that, but it's still like very boring, and I also will get into this in this video a bit later as well. So how did it start? I think it all started with being a meme. I think Sixo got to a high legend, maybe even rank 1 legend, with using 3 different decks, a Quest Rogue, a Taunt Warrior and Aggro Druid, I believe. And I thought it was just a joke with just the counter queuing and just randomizing. I'm not sure if he used random.org or if he just abused like the counter queuing, but yeah, he was like the first one that comes to my mind that just, yeah, randomed the decks that he used for ladder. And more people started doing it, and I think RDU started doing it, and other streamers and players started doing it, and recently even Colento used random.org, I believe 2 days ago, for choosing which decks to queue ladder with. And why are so many people doing it? And even I did it today. Because you have to use multiple different decks to climb successfully. You can technically use one deck, but I will get into this a bit later. The reason is because matchups are super polarized. If you have a Quest Rogue, you basically are up to 90% favorite against any slower deck like Jade Druid or like Taunt Warrior, Ends of Paladin, like non-greedy Control Paladin, any slower deck pretty much. Super polarized. But on the other hand, if you have an aggressive deck, and the strongest aggressive decks right now are Token Druid and Pirate Warrior and Token Shaman, you're like super favorite versus Quest Rogue, like 80-90%. Super polarized. And on the other hand, super anti-aggro decks like Taunt Warrior or like Control Paladin are super favorite versus aggressive decks. So basically this really makes this triangle of anti-aggro decks super hard countering aggro decks, and aggro decks super hard countering Quest Rogue, and yeah, Quest Rogue super hard countering control decks. And there's like around 20 to 25% Quest Rogues on the ladder, and so you can't really play a control deck successfully because you always just literally auto lose to Quest Rogues. And so basically how it works is, if you face too many Quest Rogues, it's just there's no point in playing like a slower deck, and then you try to play an aggressive deck, but then you can face one of these counter to aggressive decks like Freeze Mages or like Taunt Warriors, whatever, and then you get hard countered. Basically what more and more people are doing is just randomize, and this is pretty much the pinnacle of RNG. Not just there's so much RNG in the actual matchups and in the actual game, you actually randomize the decks you use to queue ladder. And the reason why that is so popular, like another reason why it's so popular, is because of the MMR change, yeah, which happened I think 3 months ago, that you face people much closer to your MMR. And in general this is a very nice change and a very nice idea, but in reality this really enforces counter queuing, and almost everyone does it, because I mean what it means is basically you will face the same opponent just naturally multiple times in a row, just because you have almost the same rating, and because you gain so little rating after you win a game and the opponent loses so little rating. Let's say I'm rank 150 and I queue into 120, he will be afterwards maybe 150 and I will be 120. No, I will, like, depending on who wins and loses. But this is how it works. So basically you can queue into the same opponent 2 or 3 times in a row, and because the matchups are so unbelievably polarized, people tend to just counter queue. And if everyone tries to counter queue, you will face so many different matchups, even if it doesn't make sense. Like, even if, let's say, there's like aggro decks that counter Jade Druids, and there's quest rogues that counter Jade Druids, it can easily be that you face 3 Jade Druids in a row. And they might just hard counter your, let's say, I don't know, Freeze Mage. And this is the reason why I really, I think I never hated the ladder experience more than now. And what I'm doing is basically the last day of the season, I get Legend, and then the last day of the season I climb in 30 hours from dumpster ranking to how far I can get, like top 100, top 200. I even get top 20 in like 2 days. How lucky I am, pretty much. And yeah, that's how the ladder experience is. And my last deck beat the ladder video, there's 3 beat the ladder videos that I made that I haven't released, and the last one was at the end of the last season, so basically at the 30th or the 31st of May, and I featured 10 decks. The video wasn't even that bad, it's just I was like, okay, there's 12 relevant decks in competitive Hearthstone right now. I can get into that also, like in some video. This is why I don't want to make these vlogs, but I want to structure this video a bit. So there's 12 relevant decks, and I covered 10 decks that I used to get high legend, or like top 100 legend. I don't even remember, something like top 100 legend I finished. Oh, actually 130 or so, like barely out of top 100. But I used 10 different decks. Like, I cannot feature one deck in a beat the ladder series because it's wrong to use one deck. Except what you can do, use one deck, which I mentioned earlier in the video, is, but you have to queue and see if you get good matchups. If you don't get good matchups, you have to stop playing and queue in a few hours later again, and then you see if you will get good matchups then. If not again, then you wait and you queue a few hours later. But most people don't want to play like that, so you just have to just randomize your decks. It's very stupid, but that's how ladder works right now. Everyone does it. Super polarized matchup, you face the same people multiple times in a row, except you wait like 2 or 3 minutes, which is also pretty boring, but that's like the only things you can do. Like, you face a quest rogue with your control paladin, you lose, you have to either change your deck or wait to not face him again. And that is very frustrating. Another frustrating part about the ladder experience. So, as I said, I feature 10 decks in one beat the ladder series, and this is not how I enjoy ladder. How I enjoyed ladder was like playing one deck and then fine-tuning it to the ladder. Like, if I play, let's say, control paladin, I really enjoy playing control paladin. I play ladder. I see, okay, there's like a lot of freeze mages, so I take a little bit more healing. Or like there's aggressive decks, so you take 2 Doomsayers or whatnot, you know, more anti-aggro, and then you make a video which is like to feature like this specific deck, which is good for ladder right now, and then you can make like a video like this every week. I'm making like deck tech videos for about 3 years now, and I always enjoy doing that, but right now it's so frustrating because you cannot use one deck to climb the ladder successfully. You can, but then every time, for example, if I feature any control deck, every time you face quest rogue, you will just auto lose, and that is like 20% of your matches. It's so stupid, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And why haven't I also recorded like 3 vlogs which I haven't uploaded? And the reason for that is it's just kind of boring. Like, it's just grinding ladder, grinding open cups. There's like no reward in open cups. I cannot even promote these open cups. This is like the worst thing you can do to your own brain or to like your mental health is play these open cups every single day. Like, I got the 2nd place, I think 2 months in a row I got the 2nd place on the 1st or 2nd day, and then I still have to continue grinding these open cups till I get the first place finish. And I got one time, I think this month, I got a second place and then a third place and then a second place in a row. And then on the fourth day I got the first place. But not most people, or like not even for me, most months don't happen like this. You get early maybe like a second place and then you have to play the entire month to try to get the first place, because the point difference between first place and second place is so big. Like the difference between getting 3 points for second place and 5 points for first place is so huge that you kind of are forced, if you want to compete in the preliminaries or like at BlizzCon, whatever, you are forced to do these open cups, because the only ways to get points is from ladder, and I already explained that the ladder system is kind of garbage right now, and these open cups, and that system is also pretty garbage because there's no reward besides these points, right? So basically it's pure torture. And when I made these vlogs, you could see that I'm like kind of frustrated, depressed, a little bit of a downer, and I don't want to release such a video. So I just came back from the gym and then I realized, and I also lack motivation of making those videos, but now I think this is like a good topic for a video, and I hope I will actually release this video. I'm not sure yet, but this is the reason I want to let you guys know. I don't know when I can make the next beta ladder series, maybe with the next expansion, but if this if the ladder system stays like this, I don't know. I seriously lack like motivation, because as I said, you have to climb multiple with multiple decks and kind of go for the rock paper scissors. It's just the reality of things. Or you're like very, very persistent, and every time, like you can queue aggro decks, and every time you face an anti-aggro deck, you just take the loss and keep queuing, hope to get lucky. Or you queue your rogue, and every time you face an aggressive deck, you just accept the loss. I don't know. It's very frustrating. Anyways, this is the reason why I haven't made a beta ladder series video, and I haven't released any vlogs recently. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you guys liked it as well. And yeah, see you guys next time, and thanks so much for watching. I'm streaming every day, so Twitch TV/GaaraShaman. Follow me there. Peace out.